Just start over. I mean, not start over.
Okay.
Recap.
Hi guys, welcome to our Dream Team chat. This is take 4.
Yeah.
And thank you for sticking with our technical difficulties. We are really just diving into sponsoring, what it means to be a well-rounded consultant, and how important it is to work your business first. Like, first and foremost, having your business taken care of is going to be the most important thing. You cannot sponsor well, you cannot lead well if you don't have PRV, if you're not working your business, if you're not booking parties or events or fundraisers or finding that groove to how you work your business, then how could you expect your team to do so? And I love Chloe's point saying that, like, you're a leader who's not partying, who's not doing events, who's not doing fundraisers, and then you have a whole team of people who are not partying, not doing events, not doing fundraisers. I was going to say, don't you click that.
Oh, yeah, no. Don't click what?
It was like on stop.
Oh, video. No, yeah. No.
Okay, we're good. Yeah. And so working your business is number one to growing your business. It's number one to building your business. And so that means stepping outside of your comfort zone, doing things that are not easy for you, that feel uncomfortable for you, that you are unsure about, but doing them anyway, because you know that that is the way that helps you grow your business. And when you're growing your business and when you're showing up for your business, then that creates that trust factor and that value of being a credible consultant that people are then going to follow you and join with you and do the things you're doing. Okay. But you have to get that part sorted out. And it's not up to your sponsor. It's not up to motivation. It's not up to a fun training you saw to do that. It's up to you deciding every day, okay, I need to work my business. I need to work on income producing activities. I need to follow up with my customers. I need to book a party. I need to get something on my, calendar, right? Front loading your calendar to know where your PRV is coming from. Okay. And this is a hard truth.
And where your next recruits are coming from.
Right.
Yeah.
And clubbers and hostesses.
Yep.
Right. And this is a hard truth that just needs to be put out there, is that some of you guys are halfway in your business. You want it.
Yeah.
You want to make that full-time income. You want to retire your husband. You want to travel with Scentsy. You want to pay off debt or buy a house or do all these things, but you don't want it enough to go book a party. You don't want it enough to try something new and book an event or ask for the fundraiser. You don't want it enough to follow up consistently. You don't want it enough to make systems for it and hold yourself accountable to those systems, right? And guys, I'm not talking to the hobbyist consultant who's just here to get their Scentsy free and half off.
Right.
Okay. Because let me be very clear. I love each and every one of you guys, wherever you decide to work your business. To me, like, my feelings are outside of your goals for your business. Honestly, I'm here to cheer you on and I want what you want for you. But I don't take anything like that personally. And frankly, if you're here having fun doing Scentsy and you're working towards your goals, which is to get your Scentsy free and half off, to make a little bit of extra cash, to do a date night, a Starbucks run, like, that's amazing and incredible. And I'm not being harsh. Okay. Like, I think that is perfect. And we need these types of consultants and we want these types of consultants, and you're welcome here and you are very loved. Okay. But I am talking, we all loved how Chloe was very forward and telling it how it is. And so I'm following up on that by saying that there are a lot of consultants in our teams, groups, and Scentsy in general who have big goals, but they're half in on the action. Okay. And so it's kind of a heart check for you in these moments where it's like, okay, do you actually want it? And are you willing to show up to get it and to do the things to get it? Okay. And so just remember, as you're working your business and as you're walking towards your goals and as you are wanting to build and expand, it starts with you. It starts with the way that you show up. And I actually wanted to show you a quick visual. Lord, please. Please help me. Okay, let me pull it up real quick.
Say a little prayer, y'all.
Yeah, truly. Okay, do you guys see this? Jessica, can you see this? Okay, so what you're looking at here, guys, is an image. It was actually created by Chloe Cox and her husband, and it's called the 3 legs of success. If you've been with us for a while, you will know this image and you'll know what it's all about, okay? So if you look at the, it's a stool with 3 legs and then the bench of the stool, the seat of the stool. And if you see the seat of the stool is self-care. So that's taking care of yourself. That should be always. That should be non-negotiable. Like, you can't do any of the other things if you're not taking care of yourself. So this means mind, body, soul, spiritually, like go to church, work out, eat healthy, go to therapy if you need to, prioritize your family, take care of yourself. Self-care is important. Okay. That's a given. And I'm moving on. Okay. Next is sales, sponsoring, and coaching. These are the 3 legs of success. You cannot have a successful business with just 2 of those. You cannot have, okay, let me take it back a bit. Depending on what you want for your business, you can have a successful business just doing sales.
Right.
Okay. If you are in here to get your Scentsy free and half off, to have fun, to meet friends, to get connected in a community, to make a little bit of extra cash, you can absolutely have a business model of sales only. And that's completely fine. I never want it to come across that you have to do all these things. If you want to just sell Scentsy, that is absolutely beautiful and fine. Okay. If you are wanting to double, triple, quadruple, 5, 6, 7, 10 times your paycheck and build a business, you have to have these 3 legs of success. And you cannot build a business with a growing team, with a steady team, promote up the compensation plan without these 3 legs of success. You can't have 2 of them and you can't have 1 of them. You need to have all 3 of them. But let me tell you, leg 3, you cannot do before leg 1 and 2. Leg 2, you cannot do before leg 1. They build off of.
Yeah, you could do leg 2. And some people have done leg 2 where it's the sponsoring aspect where you are literally just onboarding people, but then not coaching them.
Sure.
But then that's where the stool falls apart, right? Because if we only had 2 legs, you'd be tipping over.
And you can sponsor someone off the gate, but if you're not building your business with sales and bringing new people into your network, you're not going to be able to continue sponsoring the way that maybe you once did.
It'll fall apart.
And so, yes, the 3 legs of success is like I believe they build off of each other and then it's balancing.
Yeah.
Okay. And so what I'm talking about right now is leg 1, your sales, showing up for your business, the sponsor or the parties, the events, the fundraisers, the meeting new people, the customer service, the follow-ups, the all the things that you're doing for your business and for your customers. Okay. And then that naturally, quite organically leads into leg 2, to sponsoring, where you are able to have conversations because they're seeing you. You're able to offer the opportunity to more people because you have more people in your business. You're able to share the lifestyle because you're using the products and you're following up with your customers and you have things to show and share. Okay. You're able to build your dream team list because you have a large network in your customer base. Okay. And so they build off of each other really well. Okay. So I wanted to show you this visual, and then Bree's going to kind of go into the 3rd leg, essentially with coaching.
Yeah. So, like we kind of said in the beginning, which obviously got cut off by this recording, is we all month long in these dream team chats, we've been talking about sponsoring, right? Getting out, having those joint conversations and all of that, which I think was necessary. I think that it was a good topic, but I'm really glad that Chloe focused on that you cannot have a growing business without the coaching part of it, without the leadership part of it, right? Because being a leader is not just having people underneath you. Being a leader is doing things, leaders going out and doing things first and showing people what to do. And you can't do that if you are not building your business, if you are not having high PRV, if you are not booking parties, if you're not having a home party, if you're not doing these things, and if you're not showing your team. See, that's the other thing that I want y'all to hear me very clearly. You may be doing some of these things, but if you're not talking about it with your team, how the heck do we know? How do we know what's going on? How do they know what's going on? Right. And so I loved what Chloe said, and it hit home about the leaders go first. Okay. And so me and Alex have always said, we will never ask y'all to do something that we won't do ourselves or haven't already done.
Or aren't currently doing.
Yeah. And most of the time, me and Alex will do something first and then bring it to y'all.
Yep.
Case in point, the boards thing. We're not asking y'all to jump into boards and take on this whole new system and program and whatever without us testing it out first. Not because we don't think y'all can handle it, but we want to be able to come and teach you guys the ways that you can use it and give you the best possible start. Y'all are free to do whatever you want. But leadership and the sponsoring coaching part of it, it demands you being invested in the people that you are bringing on and bringing into this business. It's a responsibility. And it's one that I think can be sometimes flippant because it's just a stepping stone to get to the incentive, or it's just a stepping stone to get to that next paycheck or that next promotion. And we look at it as little tiny, like we're looking at it through glasses like this instead of big picture. Right. And we're doing these new people a disservice by not giving them everything possible to succeed. And if you have nothing, you are literally pouring from an empty cup. We talk about that all the time with self-care, right? Don't pour from an empty cup. But in leadership, if you are showing up as a consultant and not doing the things in the first leg of success, doing the things in your business that is required, you are pouring into the people that you are sponsoring from a totally empty cup. And it brings no value.
Yeah. Or, excuse me.
No, you're fine.
Or you're not sharing anything with them because you're not doing anything.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
You're just sharing motivational quotes all day long or nothing at all.
Right.
Because you're not doing.
Yeah.
And so I don't remember where I heard it, but I heard someone say, like, if you don't have 500 PRV, if you don't have anything on your calendar, stop training your team and go work your business.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah.
Because, like, how can you train your team on something if you're not doing anything?
Right.
You know?
Right. And I think Chloe brought up a really great point too. And this Zoom was meant to be a reflection of what Chloe talked about today. So we're going to constantly reference that. So again, if you have not watched her live, you need to go back and watch it. But we are hitting on a lot of those points. But she said, it's also not enough to call yourself a leader, but then go and just post other videos of other leaders talking about the things that you wish your team was doing, right? That is not being a leader. That is giving your people access to other leaders and you sitting back and reaping the potential benefits. But the fact of the matter is those people didn't join. What I know happens, hear me very clearly, what I know breeds from that behavior is those people on your team wishing they joined that person's team, because all they're seeing is that person working closely with their people, doing trainings, bringing content, bringing value. And you're sitting back going, here, just watch Chloe. Here, just watch Anya.
Yep. And also, I'm sorry.
No, don't go.
But like, this does not mean you have to go and recreate the video. Like, I just watched Bree's video talking about, you know, sponsoring. So let me go remake the video, basically saying the same thing so I can share it. No, but like, you just did mailings. Okay, great. Go share those mailings with your team. You just booked a party. Great. Go share how you booked a party with your team. You just did a party. Great. Take pictures and share how you just share how you're working. You don't have to go and recreate all these things because another leader inspired you, right? It's okay to share videos, but like, you need to be working your business and sharing how you're working your business too.
It's okay to share videos of other leaders when it's an emphasis on what you've already talked about, in my opinion, right? So when we share videos of people talking about sponsoring or whatever, mailings or stuff, we just want to give you guys another perspective because we've already shared what we do, and we know there's a vast array of ways that you can do things. So we want to give you guys options. It's not to replace the training that we should be doing, right? And as a leader, you have a responsibility to do the same. You don't have to do Zooms every week. You don't have to go live on your team page every day. There are ways to be a leader and to show up that don't look like what we do or what other leaders do. You have to find the leadership system that works for you, where you know you are inputting value to your team.
And connection.
Yes. So you need to be a leader that is going the way so you can show the way. We've talked about this before, right? When you know the way, and even when sometimes you feel like you don't know the way, okay, you can still show up and say, hey, you guys, I just tried this out. I'm still working through what Chloe said, the first 90 days of this system, but I wanted to share it with you guys. Not sure if it's going to work out, but this is what I'm doing so far. It's heated this result, blah, blah, blah. I just want to share it, right? So I know something about this business and I'm sharing it because I know it and I'm going that way, right? That is your job as a leader. I want to share something with you that when we were talking about this tonight, when we're talking about sponsoring, okay, I looked up, I'm big into definitions. If you've been here for a little while, you know, I'm a wordy person, okay? I looked up the definition of sponsor, okay, because sponsoring didn't come up for whatever reason. And the definition of sponsor is to provide funds for, which y'all might be like, that doesn't apply. But to me, what that related to in our Scentsy business was providing funds for equals investing in. Okay, so when you are stepping into sponsorship, you should be investing something into these people. And when you sponsor something monetarily, okay, when you're giving to something and you're sponsoring, you're putting, when I give money to something and I'm saying, I'm going to sponsor you, or I'm going to sponsor this business, or I'm going to sponsor this company, or I'm going to sponsor this fundraiser, whatever, I'm attaching my name and I'm putting my money where my mouth is. Okay, I'm saying my name is attached to this and I'm going to put money on it, right? In it for the value of whatever. So when you sponsor somebody, you should be looking at it like, this person is now attached to me, right? They sponsored, or they came on to Scentsy under me for a reason, right? They chose you. 270,000 consultants out there and they chose you. Okay, so your name is attached to this person. You should want to invest in them, which requires a sacrifice. When you give monetarily, you are sacrificing money, and we know how valuable money is. Nobody can tell me otherwise, right? So you should be investing the same kind of time and resources into people. Now, I said all that. Now let me clean it up. There will be people, I still stand by what we say all the time. You run with the runners and you walk with the walkers, right? We're not talking about the hobbyist consultants who come into this and say, hey, I just want to do my 200 every now and then. Cool. You put them in their place lovingly. You put them in their place. You know where they stand. I'm talking about the people who say, I want to do this, I want to do this, but then they don't even get through the first things first checklist. Okay. So you're walking with them. But the runners, the people who are doing things, the people who are taking steps towards their goals, you should be walking alongside of them every step of the way. You should be providing personal connection. You should be texting them. You should be sharing your own experiences. You should be connecting and adding value to their journey every step of the way. Because if you told them in the join conversation that, yes, you will have help, yes, you will have resources, adding them to the team page and then saying, see you later, does not count.
Yep.
That does not count. Tagging them in a few posts and hoping that they read it does not count. That is not leadership.
Yep. And like, this is harsh, but like adding them to the team page, tagging them and stuff, and then hoping they're doing more than you're doing. Like, that hurts.
Or even hoping that they match your energy, but they have no idea what your energy is.
Yep. Or they're building connections with you based off of tags and comments mentioning them.
Right.
It hurts.
It does hurt. And I even voice messaged Chloe today and was like, girl, you hit me in some hard places. Like, you spoke to me on some leadership levels that I need to get right. So don't think that I'm not preaching to myself here in a lot of different ways. But the one thing that I have learned about leadership is that if you are not present, then you are a ghost. Like, you might as well not even be there. And it sucks to hear when you already, the things that suck to hear are the things that you already know, right?
Yeah.
So this is not meant to be like, like at you. This is just meant, what we are hoping that this inspires for all of us is just a moment of clarity, because we either move forward or you stay where you're at and you continue to wonder where you're going. Like, the time to make a change in your business is now, because the fall and winter is literally knocking on the door, and times are just going to get busier. Things are just going to get crazier. Incentives are just going to show up all of a sudden. That Hawaii trip is just all of a sudden going to be right here, and you're going to be wondering what the heck happened. So now is the time to make sure that your systems and that your leadership system is honed in, and it's not going to happen overnight. If you're sitting there going, okay, yep, I hear you, I haven't done a whole lot, I don't even know where to start. Okay, we can work with that. Okay, but you have to be willing. Which brings me to my next point. Chloe brought the house down when she talked about work ethic, right? The issues that we see, the dip, the lack of, whatever you want to call it, whatever you feel like it's hurting in Scentsy, whatever I see, I can directly relate back to work ethic, right? Some of us, it's like, that's a no-brainer. Some of us, it takes more. And some of us are wondering, is this the way that it's supposed to be, right? We look at Scentsy and we're like, oh, we should just be able to share it and people will buy, or we should just be able to have this joint conversation and people want to hop in. But the reality of it is that you have to continue to work this business, and you have to continue to dedicate consistent time and intentional time into this business, period, point blank. Your work ethic has to match your goals. It has to match your goals, or else you will fall short every time. And work ethic has nothing else to do with, except it has nothing else to do, let me rephrase it because I can't think of it. Work ethic has nothing to do with motivation. Work ethic has everything to do with your dedication and commitment to your business.
Yep. And your habits and systems.
Yeah. And that's what it has to fall back onto, right? Yep. Is when you don't feel like it, what is your system that you're resorting back to, right? When you're not in the mood, when you've had a busy day, when you've had a long day, right? What does it fall back to? That's why these systems are so important. You can't wait to feel motivated. You can't wait to feel good about it. You can't wait for a Tuesday night training to feel pumped up, right? Because when Thursday comes around, we ain't here, and you also have a business to work. So this business requires actions that actually matter to your business from you consistently. And the actions that we're talking about, we're actually going to get into more specifically next month. We're going to actually be talking about tangible actions in your business that you should be doing, like booking parties. Okay. The things that Chloe talked about are exactly what keeps your business alive and growing and building a big business. Okay, so we're going to be talking about that all next month, but you can know it by looking at the 3 layers of success. What that is. It is customer expansion. Chloe put it perfectly. I've never even heard that before, but I was like, that's what it is. Customer expansion. How are you expanding your customer base, right? And sponsoring. I was going to say, while Alex was talking, for people who haven't looked at the compensation plan or maybe don't know, I always tell my new people, there is money to be made in this business. There is a great deal of money to be made in this business. But let me be very clear. You cap out at 30% of your own sales if you refuse to sponsor. 30% of your own sales is all that you can make. So for somebody who's like, I need an extra $1,000, you're going to have to put in a lot of PRV to be able to make it on your own. You can do half that PRV, you can do a quarter of that PRV, but be sponsoring people. And I'm not saying that it's less work to sponsor people. In fact, I would argue that sponsoring and coaching people and bringing up other leaders is more difficult than the PRV side of it. But you will make much more, if we're just talking money-wise, you will make much more in this business if you choose the sponsoring route. But it requires work, and it requires consistency, and it requires doing the things.
But what's really cool about sponsoring is once you get in there and you're coaching, you're building up other consultants, building leaders, you feel such a connection to your business and to the opportunity that Scentsy can bring. It's a whole nother level of love for Scentsy. You might join Scentsy and you might be introduced to Scentsy and you love the products and you love the feelings and you love the way it makes you feel. You might join Scentsy and love the community and the perks and all of that. But once you start building a team and once you start seeing your teammates reach and achieve goals, it is just this deeper level of love and connection for the opportunity that Scentsy brings.
100%.
And in tune, yes, it is more work working with your leaders and coaching and leading. It is more work, but it's more fulfilling,
more rewards,
and it's more sticky.
Yeah.
It keeps you here longer. It keeps you locked in. It keeps you showing up to trainings and going to events and doing the things. And then the next thing you know, you're a director, star director, superstar director with Scentsy, looking back at your journey, just like so
going on incentive trips with your team.
Yep.
Like, to me, that's one of my proudest things as like a leader is watching my friends, Michelle, Chantel, who's not even on my team, Tammy, right? Earning incentives. Erica went to Disney World. Mariah went to Disney World. Brandy, Charlotte went to Disney World, like earning incentives and being able to go, because to me, vacations are a huge thing. And to be able to be so proud of the people who have come along beside me, whether I'm their sponsor or not, like those people are here because of the investment that somebody made in them.
Yeah.
Right. And maybe it was me, maybe it was their sponsor, but like that, it's like cliche, but it's like a proud mom moment, right? It's like that proud mom moment when your kid does something amazing that you've been talking to them about forever.
Yeah.
And in Scentsy, it's very much the same way. So Alex is 100% right that while it takes more work, the rewards are that much sweeter. And it's not about you anymore, right? And we talk about that with the join conversations. Don't make it about you, because in the long run, it's about them. And I mean, from the start, it's about them. But you're going to find that even if there is a selfish part of you that's like, okay, I want to join because I want them to join so I can promote, so I can get these points, so I can go on this trip, whatever, you're going to find that along the way, your heart changes, and seeing them reach their goals in their Scentsy journey is nothing short of like magical. Like it is one of the best feelings ever to watch the people that you brought in achieve incredible things. And so, yeah, Erica says, make it duplicatable, lead by example. And so those are part of the systems that you have to put in place. Is it replicatable? I was just talking to somebody about how when I first started Scentsy, I would like every Wednesday, I would like check in with all of my team.
Person.
And it was like 20 people, right? And I was like, oh, it'd take me like 30 minutes. Now it's like, I have a team of like 750 people. It's like, can't even do that, right? So it's like the things that we are creating have to be replicatable so we can teach our team. There's no point in making it simple if you're not sharing it with anybody. Right? Because you make it simple so that you can share it with people and they can then adopt it and continue to do it.
Yep.
So the focus here, the whole point of this, let me try to wrap this up. The whole point of this, you guys, Chloe made it very clear that as a leader and to have a full circle leadership, which was her whole thing, right? Full circle leadership. I'm falling apart. The wheels are coming off. Requires you to have so much investment in this business as a leader that there's no room for excuses. There's no room for just barely hitting the mark or barely making it or letting your PRV goal slip this month. Like there's just no room for any of that. You not only have to be reaching your goals, but you also have to be teaching and showing others how to reach their goals. That is leadership and that is coaching. And those things are required of you in order to have a leadership business or to have a business that is fully invested and is capable of making all of your dreams come true.